Team Morara, Team Cyprian, once again, welcome to my channel. I'm super excited to be here, and all I can say, thank you so much for the support you have been giving me. May Almighty God bless you. And in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Anyway, most the people wamekuwa wakiulizia about the Inject party. And this Inject party watu wengi hawajaweza kuielewa. Jana nimesikia jamaa fulani akielaborate vizuri sana about the Inject party, nikaona ni vyema pia muweze kujua what's all about Inject party. And guys, let me tell you, there are so many critics zenye zinaenda kwa Morara, but all I can say, guys, let's give Morara time. Hata wewe mwenye upewe hii kazi ya Morara yenye anafanya, hautaweza. Trust me, hautaweza. Hii ni kazi ambayo inahitaji kuvumilia. You can imagine people can wake up from nowhere, waanze kukuita wewe ni con. People can wake up from nowhere, waseme wewe na familia yako, wao ndio wanawarisha. Morara ameacha kazi zake. Morara akona furniture shop Nairobi, as you all know, Eldoret, Mombasa, akona kazi zake. So Morara si eti ni njaa ilikuwa inamsumbua, tuseme ni njaa inamsumbua ndio afanye kazi yenye anafanya, no. Morara ni mtu ambaye akona kazi yake na anajifanyia kazi yake, anajua kujitafutia. Na alianzanga kitambo guys kujitafutia. And let me give you a brief history ya Morara. Morara by the way alikuwa anafanya kazi ya waiter kama mji hapo Ufanisi hapa Kisii Town. There is a woman tulifanyia interview wenye wananifollow wanajua, aliweza kusema Morara alikuwa very hard working young man. Mpaka sasa hivi hata ukiangalia Morara is very hard working. So Morara hajaanza kuaso sai, alikuwa anafanya kazi ya waiter. You can imagine kufanya kazi ya waiter hiyo, kusimama yote, kupatana na client vichwa ngumu, yani hey. So Morara alianzanga kuaso kitambo sana. Si leo ameanza kuaso. But what I'm happy about Morara, alikuwa ametuambia anaenda break of which amerudi, alienda akaangalia, akafanya, hapana. Wakenya wanahitaji msaada wangu. So that's where you have seen Morara back to the street, back to Famba ya Diaries. Wengi walikuwa wanasuggest afanye Famba ya Diaries, baada akirudi mmeanza tena kucomplain, hatutaki Famba ya Diaries, hatutaki nini. Yaani Wakenya mimi ushangaa. Wakenya mnatakanga nini jamani? Wakenya specifically mnatakanga nini? Because mimi ushindwa kuelewa. Mtu afanya hivi, mtu akuja afanye kidogo hatutaki. Mimi huwa nashangaa na Wakenya sana. Let me tell you guys, hata wewe unayenitazama unaweza ona nimekaa hapa useme aka sasa kanafanya nini. Let me tell you, if I give you this mic nikwambie sasa kaa hapa uongee, hata utakosa maneno ya kuongea. Utakosa maneno ya kuongea. So whatever anybody ama mtu yote anafanya, just appreciate that person, because kitu yenye anafanya wewe uambie ufanye uwezi ukaifanya. Like so wengine wakisema it's a calling so you have to do it. It's okay, it's a calling anafanya. Then let's give him time aendelee kufanya hii kazi. Anyway, mimi kitu imefanya nikuje hapa, I just want you to understand about Inject party. Many people have been asking about Inject party, and nikaona ni vyema niweze kuwaletea the whole video yenye Kimori ambaye ni crew ama among those people wenye wanafanya na Morara Kebaso aliweza kuelezea about the Inject party ili muweze kuelewa. And also remember, somebody yesterday said Morara akona Inject party guys. Kama wewe unataka kuwania kiti chochote, come 2027 register under Inject party. You never know. Hii Inject party itakuwa na watu ambao watachaguliwa, watakuwa nominated, wengine watapigiwa kura. So make sure you are a leader of integrity, because hizi ndizo vitu tunaenda kuangalia kama wewe are you going to serve the common mwananchi ama unaenda kujisafu wewe mwenyewe. So kama unataka kusimama 2027, usiogope, anza sasa hivi, practice from now. And then kwa maushago zenu, ongea na watu, waambie kuna Inject party. Come 2027 we will have a party whereby sisi wenyewe tutasimama. Hata mimi nikitaka kusimama hapa Kisii niko na Inject party naingia nayo. So I'm hatching all young leaders wenye wanataka kuingia in politics, please let's register kwa wingi, and meanwhile let's listen to what Kimori had to say about the Inject party. I can say thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you so much guys. Nawapenda sana. May Almighty God bless you. See you in our next video. Bye.
As I was saying, Inject party is a party that is on everyone's lips, especially at the political sector. This is a party that is unstoppable. This is a party that once formed will sweep the parliament, we'll sweep the MCA's positions, we'll sweep the Senate, we'll sweep even the governor's positions. The whole country will be able to transit to Inject party. So I know the political sector are timid, but let them be aware that they are also dealing with the experienced politicians who got experience from the student politics. I know the challenges are many. We will face many challenges, and many will try and come with their own agendas. But Inject party is what is going to be differentiate between activism and leadership. We are leaders. The media has tried to portray us as activists, but we have reminded them that we are leaders. And as Inject party, we decided to keep it real. We do everything involving the people. That's why when you see any communication, we do not try and cream it. We ask the people first. As you have seen, before we started going to the ground, we were able to involve the people, asking them to join us. People of goodwill came. In the process, we now started engaging engaging on national issues. On those national issues, the president felt timid. That's why Morara Kebaso was arrested. And the arrest of Morara Kebaso gave him popularity. He transited from being famous to popular. Inject party once formed, it will be able to give us the stamina. We will be more organized. We will be able to have our own people at the grassroots level who have willingly registered and joined the party. So to me, I'm just calling Kenyans of goodwill to just be a little bit patient. Time will come. Today they are calling us content creators. They are calling us names here and there. But you have seen, we have been very consistent. We are also human beings. I can tell you for a fact, anything that God ordains has a blessings from above. Remember, when God wants to bring you down as a king, He does not send you enormous people. He sends you small people. Anakutumia wale watu wadogo utadharau. Wale watu wadogo unaweza tuma polisi wawapige. Lakini Mungu ni nani? Wananchi wamesimama. Hii party inaitwa Inject party. This party, it will inject the cancer called corruption that is killing our country. It will inject good leadership in this country. I'm telling you, it is not my duty alone to change this nation. It is your duty, you as a person, to redefine your thinking, to start thinking, me as a person, if my person who comes from the same tribe today is in power and still I cannot afford to put food on the table, how does it help me? And that is the reason as to why we of the same convergence in terms of now the political mind, we decided to go to the grassroots and do a civic education so that the people at the grassroots can be able to understand that tribalism does not help in bringing food on the table. They will be able to understand that once you join the movement, you become a better leader. And it is a fact. In what we check more on Inject party or the people we move around with, we check their credibility. We check their integrity. That is why you have seen Morara Kebaso is arrested on petty offenses because the whole of his life he has tried as much as possible to be within the law. There is nothing good like being within the law. They will bring KRA to try and finish your business so that you can be able to have no resources to campaign. Lakini Kenya ni nani? Kenyans started by buying a vehicle for our movement. Kenyans went ahead and contributed money for us to move around the country, to inform people on how the government is not working for them. Let me tell you, the people who are in town, the cosmopolitan areas, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Eldoret, they understand what is going on in this country. But there are people who are at the countryside. There are approximately 80% who are at the countryside who believe that there is a kingpin somewhere who will come and inform them where to vote during elections. Let me tell you, 2027 general election will be a different general election. Today, the government is impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. That is the main agenda today in government. But you will find there is a lot that has not been implemented. During the campaigns, the Kenya Kwanza regime had promised so much to implement when they come to power. Unfortunately, you will find that this is going to be the most unpopular regime ever elected. Afadhali hata Moi alikuwa na wisdom. When you look at this regime, when they came to power, they first assumed they can do everything without consulting. When you look keenly, the government runs in different quarters. There is the people who run the public service. There are people who run the civil service as now the workers. There are people who run the security. There are people who run the private sector. And there are people who run now the executive. But when you look at it keenly, the people who are now employed by the government, who are now called the civil servants, are the most affected by this government. This government affected them most by taxing them. By this tax they are paying to the government on housing projects. Most of those who are in civil servant, who are working as civil servants, have their houses. So you'll find these are the same people who will be able to be able to communicate back to the grassroots how they are affected. That is number one on how the government of the day is going to be the most unpopular in 2027 general elections. Another sector is the provincial administration. When Ruto came into power, he was able to remove some key personalities and other sectors who are very important in running his administration. Today, you saw youths, the so-called Gen Z, woke up and said enough is enough. The country was with them. Do you remember the first speech the president gave, the unwelcoming speech, which was produced from AI? This speech angered so many Kenyans. And that is where Morara Kebaso came to the light. He came as a person who was now like the president, how the president could have done it. So to me, we have a president who thinks he knows it all. And you will find government is so big. You cannot run it alone. You cannot assume. There are people who have been in government of goodwill. They know how they can be able to run the government. But anyone who feels can do it alone will one day say enough is enough. But they'll not tell you. These people in civil servants, they're very good. They'll give you good names. But at the end of the day, it is the president who will fail. So to me, we will not wait to be given direction. We will give ourselves direction. And the direction is Inject Party. The party that we have decided to go and form is Inject Party. I know it will be challenging. For now, we have reserved the name. The next thing we are going to do, we will be able to comply. And if they are not going to give us the certificate of Inject Party, we will mobilize and get the certificate. We know the process. For us, we are fighting a cause, not an individual. The presidency is an organ that is very clear in the Constitution. The custodian of this country and the symbol of this nation under the sovereign state that protects the Bill of Rights, that protects property, that protects individuals. It is the president. So the first person we will ask for accountability is the president. So let the president stop being petty and be able to know how to deal with issues that affects his administration. One of the main issues that has been affecting his administration is the people he has been appointing to government who have no competency on running other sectors of the government. We will not mention names here, but the name we will mention is William Samoei Ruto, because he was elected to serve Kenyans. How many people have died because of demonstrations? Yesterday or the day before yesterday, there is someone who was abducted. Today, we don't know where he is. Morara Kebaso was arrested. If we did not make noise, the day actually the first time Morara was arrested, I am telling you that day we did not sleep. So, we don't wish to have a president who only works under pressure. I remember when Kibaki came into power. Kibaki, the first thing he did, he created a Vision 2030, which is anchored today on any development. You still go back to the Vision 2030. Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, tried to deviate. He brought affordable housing, he brought food security, he brought other 4 pillars of the government, or 5. It did not work. They all went back to Vision 2030 that was created by the greatest economist called Mwai Kibaki. So my advice to the young generation, let us be keen on how we go and vote. And if you can be keen right now, the president is not interested in forming or crafting the IEBC because he is timid. He does not know the right direction. And the president is a person who is opening many wars. I'm imagining if today Raila does not capture the AUC seat, the Raila that I know will go back to politics and say, da watu walinichenga ama walinicheza. So the president will be left alone. He might try and craft the 1992 politics, where the YK92 came and crafted all this. I think that's why they are bringing Samuel on board to be able to have another presidential candidate. But Kenyans are alert. Today, we are having an economy that is not working. I am the one who said that if you give me 2 million today, you cannot be able to create a business that can generate 50,000 profit. That is a reality. It is something that I have done. Many people have given me business ideas that you can do that. But I have not seen anyone who has given me the managerial aspect. When you look at the definition of a business, the business is supposed to run without you being involved. In terms of now the daily running of the business, you're supposed to put the managerial aspect. No one has said about that. So if you put a business with 2 million, that is self-sufficient when I compare to the Kibaki's era. If you inject 1 million to a business that is running, it will be able to give you better returns than starting a business with 2 million. So that's why you see today that many people don't take loans, because they'll end up having pressure or they'll not be able to repay the loan. So it is a clear indication that money is not circulating in our economy. It is a clear indication that the projects that were launched during all these years, for the last 10 years, the projects that were launched by the current president has not been completed because of the money circulation that is not there. So where is our money going? It's paying the recurrent expenditure. Some of the money that we are collecting is being stolen through corruption. So that is not our focus. Our focus is Inject Party and the 2027 general elections. Either you arrest Morara Kebaso, either you intimidate the youth, either you do all what you wish to do. People are enlightened, and a time will come that they will be able to stand up for their constitution. Today, you are in power. There was Nebuchadnezzar, who had institutions. There was Mobutu Sese Seko from Congo. Even Moi was there. But people remember one president called Mwai Kibaki. If Mwai Kibaki was not a president for 10 years that he was, our economy today could be worse than Uganda. That is the truth. When Kibaki came into power, he did not complain that he found an economy that is not working or there was no money. Mr. President Kibaki sat down and created a strategy on how he's going to make this economy work. The LAPSET projects that were formed during Kibaki's time, there was other projects that interconnect the borders. All roads that were interconnecting the borders, President Kibaki made sure during his tenure they were complete, including Busia Kisumu Road. It was upgraded during that time. So when you look at the presidency, who is politicking 22 hours and working for 2 hours, is a different president as compared to Kibaki, who was politicking for 2 hours and working for 2 hours. And that is one of the main reasons we did not elect Kibaki in 2007. It's because he was working, to the extent of forgetting that there is politics that is coming in 2007. How was Uhuru able to contain, or Uhuru was able to finish his tenure without so much fight? Uhuru was a gentleman. Even if the economy started going down during that time, but he's not a person who creates war. But we're having a president who sometimes you'll find he's with the youth, sometimes he's not there. So you will not gauge what is his right position. So to me, our focus is 2027. And the youth in this country are very clear on where they are going. The youth in this country have never been involved in any political succession or political presidential campaigns. It is only one youth group that was involved, and that is the YK92. So you will find any youth group that comes on board to carry out a presidential campaign, they will not be allowed. Personally, I formed the ODM Youth Caravan. I formed the BBI Youth Caravan. There are other friends who formed theirs. But none of those youth group carried out presidential campaigns. So this is the reason. We are not well organized. So let's stop blaming the elders. Huh? Let us start first by blaming us. How organized are we to be able to carry out a presidential campaign? So once we are organized, that is when we can be heard. And I don't want us to be heard by the people who are in power. It is better for us to be heard by the people who are the electorate. And that is why we created Inject Party. To be leaders, not to be activists. You can check our history from the student politics. Personally, I was in the University of Nairobi as a student leader. Morara Kebaso was in KU as a student leader. Those people that we went to school with will give us the history of these people who are coming on board. Are they of integrity? So Inject Party first checks the integrity. If you are not of integrity, please clear yourself first, then come to Inject Party. So that once we start doing our campaigns properly, we will be going round the country with the people of integrity. And we will be able to converge and conform with the people of integrity. So integrity is the key word here. These are the same people who are going to form the next government. If you are not going to be of integrity, what will make you be of integrity when you are appointed in the next administration? That is why Inject Party is a conglomeration of people of integrity. If you are not of integrity, we will not be able to converge with you. Because Kenyans know what they want. And they have spoken. And they have pointed out this one, no, this one, yes. So we are keen on that. So, to me, I want to speak to the police. Actually, the police, sometimes they do a good job. Like what happened in Bomas. It's actually the police who saved Morara Kebaso. That only give them a credit. But the police sometimes, they are politically used. They are politically used to be able to finish the political opponents. I want to tell the policemen, you are the most underpaid civil servants. How can this country be able to have a good standard of living if the policemen cannot protect the young generation? You can be sent to kill, you can be sent to do all manner of things. But remember, each and every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Either punishment that comes from God, either your generation, that you will remember, you killed Rek Masai. You killed a young generation that could be able to change this nation. So to me, the police are supposed to protect the citizens of this country, not to be used to kill. Actually, it is time for us to change leaders. The people who went to parliament asking for reject the finance bill, most of them were killed. We will remember they are the ones who started this revolution of changing the nation. I also want to speak to the media. The media has been doing a very good job. The media, it's time for them to stand up and do a coverage without being paid, not to cover certain quotas. So when you look at a country that has a media that cannot stand strong, that country will be able to stagnate for a very long time. So to me, the reason as to why we have been insisting not to use the main media. We are using TikTok, we are using Facebook, we are using all other means of transmitting information, is because we have and we know how sometimes the media operates. So the media sometimes can be bought, and that is why we are being real. We use our phones to cover our events, so that when we start involving the media, it is the people who will inform us, involve the media. If they tell us to involve the media, we will involve the media. And if the media are not going to cover or protect us the way the people have decided to use the media, it is time for us to love our country more. It is time for us to produce our own brands. And for your information, Inject Party is going to be printed in this country. We will be able to have people of goodwill who will come and print this merchandise. We will not go to other countries. We will make the money that we have been given by Kenyans to print in our own country. We will promote a fellow youth. We will promote a fellow businessman. So it is time for us to love our country. That is the message I have for you today. It is a very tedious exercise, but I can tell you for a fact, the best experience I learned by being in ODM for 15 years, it is political experience. But today, I am in Inject Party. The party that I believe myself that will transform this nation. The party that will be able to have a better political stage. And this party, we will not be able to have busy boys there trying to harass aspirants. When someone is contesting, you are being harassed, you are supposed to give money, you are supposed to do what. We will not have those nonsense. Our party will be a party of credibility. Our party will be a party of integrity. Anyone who comes to contest with this party, he must be of task to serve the nation. Because this party, in each and every stage, we will involve the people. We don't want a party that has certain mechanisms to harass aspirants who have come with their own goodwill to serve the nation, then they are being taxed at the party. We will not have those nonsense. We understand how the other political parties behave. This will be a party for the people. So Inject Party, they have reserved the name. We will comply with everything that they need. We will give them all the documentation. Within the 90 days that we have been given, at the end of the day, we will have the Inject Party. Many have been speaking about organization, that Morara Kebaso is not well organized. Morara Kebaso is supposed to send people before he goes there. We understand all this. Running a presidential campaign is not a joke. I have been with Raila Odinga the whole of this country. I know and I understand. We know all these mechanisms. and it is not a simple or a cheap exercise. On the mistakes we have done, so what we will do first, once we have the party, at the party headquarters, we have a wing for the party registration, the SG wing, where party people are invited to talk about the issues, and we know how things run. So this is a party that is going to be involved in helping the youths to become leaders. It is not a party that is going to involve the people by collecting money. So what I'm requesting is, first, let people trust what we are doing. The first thing that I can say, we have a credibility and a history of doing good work. Anyone who I have worked for, I have performed. If be it politics, be it what, I have performed. I know how political parties or politics rotate. We will be able to transmit our politics to a better political stage. We will have good manifestos that can be realistically be implemented. We are not going to just have a walk in the park using people here and there. I know how difficult it is to contest. Personally, when I was contesting for MP, actually I started by contesting for Governor Nairobi. Unfortunately, my father died. I went for MP. I was told to stop. I'll be in charge of roads here and there. Nilipigwa PR kamili. Nikasema ni sawa. Time will come. Here we are right now. And the good thing is that don't be bitter in politics. Just do what is necessary. Ukikosewa songa mbele enda. Lakini unasema it's a learning process. My 15 years in ODM, I learned a lot. But I have never been bitter with anyone. I have been through a lot of process. My father was in ODM since he was part of the people who found ODM. ODM is a good party, but for me it gave me a very good experience. So to me, we will use this experience to have our party to be better. We have friends who have been in Jubilee. We have friends who have been in UDA. We have friends who have been in other political parties. I have spoken to them. They will come on board. They will be able to bring their experience on board. We will have a large secretariat. You see, this party, Inject party, it will be a party of ideas. It is not going to be a party of revenge. This is a party that will be able to go to the grassroots, and the people who will take it to the grassroots are the people of goodwill. We will not have bitter people taking party ideologies to the grassroots. So I'm seeing someone here by the name Martin Murgor saying all sorts of nonsense that Morara Kebaso should know that you are a spy here and there. Hey, that I inform Sudi. Those are people. You see, once you start a good thing, anyone that feels bad, he will come on board, sent by I don't know who, but the time will equate. Once I take a stand on something, I am very keen and to the point. For now, I have decided to leave ODM and work with my friend Morara Kebaso. There is no day you will ever see me or doing other things. It is Inject party. And that is how I work. So you will find especially people who are jealous, speaking all manner of things. But to me, you see, I'm never bitter. I look at them, I learn and move. So to me, it is our time to redefine this nation. And I have also found out that there are people who want to scatter the team that is around Morara Kebaso. Like this guy called Martin Murgor. You see the nonsense he's writing here. So we will not be deterred. We will continue with our message. And our message is clear. Let us redefine this nation And we are coming up as leaders, not activists. That is the difference. So, people of goodwill, we don't need to take anyone's money. Personally, I can tell you, we are here to serve the nation in our own capacity. It is the people who are going to tell us, this person is bad. We investigate the person. And we tell you. So to me, time will define. But for now, Inject Party is the party. I'm seeing someone writing, how can I get a t-shirt? So the t-shirt, for now we have not started printing the t-shirts. Once we have the party, we are doing what we call the litmus test. The litmus test is that we wanted to see if this logo is accepted countrywide. Thank you so much that this logo is well accepted. Once we start printing the merchandise, we will put someone in charge of merchandise. And each and every person who wishes to get this brand will get it. And in fact, may I propose each and every county or constituency or town, major towns, will have someone printing these t-shirts, so that we send you to that person to take a t-shirt or buy a t-shirt from there. So this is going to be a redefinition of politics onwards. Any question you wish for me to answer, I'll answer. I am free. I'm a very simple person. I'm a hardworking Kenyan. You see. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Have a great evening. Thank you. Thank you.